March 9th, 1933. 10-year-old Mary Adams is in her bedroom, getting ready for school. She is worried and dreads making the trip. Not because school isn't fun. In fact, she loves playing with her friends and learning from her teachers. It's the getting there that worries her. Every day, she and her 6-year-old sister, Thelma, take their horse, like most children in the rural community of Pindi Pindi, to school. On their way, they pass the ironically named Alligator Creek. But in the last few days, as they get closer to the water, their horse becomes skittish and begins to panic whenever it nears. The girls try to see what's wrong, but the murky water prevents them from seeing anything at all. Eventually, though, the horse always calms himself, and the pair make their way to school. They like the independence of riding by themselves, so they decide to keep the incident a secret. If anyone found out, they could kiss their freedom goodbye. But today Mary questions if she should tell someone. After a bit of back and forth with herself, she decides if her horse acts up again, she would let someone know. After all, as the old saying goes, it's better to be safe than sorry. Mary grabs her bag and joins her sister on their trusty horse, and the two make their way to school. Unfortunately, Mary would never make it to class that day, as the next time anyone would see her, it would be in the belly of a monster. Hello, my name is Joseph Palmer, and today I wanted to talk about the heartbreaking case of Thelma and Mary Adams, two children who were devoured by an Australian crocodile on March 9th, 1933. Now I think this goes without saying, but viewer discretion is advised. Now without further ado, let's dive into the story of Thelma and Mary Adams. Thelma and Mary Adams grew up in Pindi Pindi, Australia. To say this place is rural would be an understatement. In 2016, the town had a population of just 98 people. The locality takes its name from the Pindi Pindi railway station, which was named by the Queensland Railway Department in 1915. Pindi Pindi is an Aboriginal word meaning creek or flowing water. With the area having such a small population, most people had to travel great distances nearly everywhere they went, including children. Mary and Thelma were no different, taking the family horse to school and back. And on March 9th, 1933, that was no different. The two girls left in the morning on their way to class. But when school began, people began to worry when the children were nowhere to be found. Alarms were raised even further when the horse returned home, soaked and trembling in fear. The family moved quickly, tracing their daughter's path. And soon they found something no parent ever wants to find. Floating on top of the water in Alligator Creek was 6-year-old Thelma. If that wasn't heartbreaking enough for the family, Mary was nowhere to be seen. A large search party was organized, led by Constable Gallagher. By this time, people believed something truly terrible had happened. With the creek being known for crocodiles, the constable had a plan. He placed dead wallabies in the water and laced the corpses with strychnine. Strychnine is a poison that was actually used in the 19th century for medical purposes. However, in large doses can be very fatal. A few days later, on March 17th, a 15-foot crocodile was found floating on top of the water. It was cut open to reveal the body of a small human. Clothing that Mary wore on that day confirmed it was indeed the missing 10-year-old. Here is what people close to the area, and people who had a first-hand account, believe what happened. On their way to school, the girls had to pass Alligator Creek. In order to pass it, the horse had to walk 40 yards through 3 feet of water. It is believed the crocodile pulled Mary off the horse and into the water where it devoured her. The horse became spooked and threw Thelma off his back, where she drowned. People believe the croc anticipated the girls as they made the trip frequently. The community was devastated, as not only did 2 children lose their lives, but this was the first death contributed to a crocodile in the area. Mary and Thelma Adams were 2 children who sadly lost their lives to one of the scariest and efficient predators the world has ever seen. And even though it's been nearly 100 years since it happened, hopefully they will be remembered for the intelligent and beautiful children they were.